It's so interesting because I can't sleep. I'm working on decompressing. But this painting was inspired about me researching and learning about the goddess Oshun, and just being a goddess of water and fertility and just sensuality. But also for me too, my emotions and my ability to be honest and real with myself and hold myself accountable. I feel like water to me represents emotions and just my ability to be in control and knowing how to be an alchemist. So it's so crazy how these paintings, I'm like going through and changing different stuff in my, but just it's so interesting because typically with my paintings I create things that I may not necessarily understand the purpose of why I'm feeling so connected to it or creating it, and then it randomly resonates with me. I created this before I was pregnant or even was pregnant, knew I was pregnant, you know? And now to be in this state of where I am pregnant and I understand my value and, you know, my strength, like, I'm so grateful for myself, but also I understand why I needed to be able to wake up in the middle of the night and look at stuff like this. Like all my art, all my beautiful ass pieces, like remembering who the fuck I am and just kind of what example I want to set, you know, because we can only control ourselves, right? And it's just so crazy. Even with this painting, I was working on being vulnerable. The irony of the conversation I had today too with my cousin. Back up, little kinky butt. But I was learning how to be vulnerable, and you know, I feel like Black women are constantly taught to be strong. We're constantly looked at as being strong all the time, which we are. But we also experience every other emotion in the book. And I think a lot of the times Black women get told to hush or just get over stuff, or, you know, treat it like stuff is not a big deal, and our emotions get minimized. And this was a time where I was interacting with somebody who did not value my voice, and I was noticing that it was transitioning into that, and just kind of having to be vulnerable with I had to be realistic with the, come sit down, Pooh, come sit down. I had to be realistic with, you know, what I wanted in life, which was a family and things like that, and whether I felt like our interaction was on the path to that or healthy, you know, for something like that. And also just in regards to the way I looked at myself, I love the fact that I am emotional and I'm vulnerable and I'm honest and I hold myself accountable and I push myself to try things and do things different from my environment and the way I was raised, or, you know, the things I experienced. Because, you know, I grew up in Oakland and in Pittsburgh. I grew up in the Bay, period. So, you know, you being raised by the Bay, like, your life can go any way. Music was my saving grace. Like, a lot of the people in today's society, I feel like everybody try and escape in hella different ways. And don't get me wrong, because y'all know I was like, you know, a pothead. But I also held myself accountable enough to know that, like, if I'm feeling emotional or feeling different things, I gotta come to a understanding within myself and how I'm gonna proceed forward before I engage in certain activities. Because I didn't want it to be my crutch. I didn't want it to be the thing that I felt like was saving me or keeping me alive, when I'm not doing it, I'm like, my world is so fucking dry or like confused, you know, I'm unhappy with the person I'm looking at. So I feel like a lot of people struggling with it. Also, my ability to understand my power, where I come from, A lot of the time people see snakes and think fear or, whatever. But and don't get me wrong, because if I see the snake room in this motherfucker right now, that's probably gonna be my first thought. It's like, ah. But also, a lot of the times it can represent ancestry and so many other things, but I ain't gonna get into all of that right now. But my ability to push myself to learn, to be up in all aspects in the dark. People run from the dark all the time. Like, that's my greatest fucking experience. I forgot what rapper, but they said, you feel me, they go sit down next to the devil. And that's really how it be, like, on everything, how you learn. Now, with this little daddy over here, I was in a state where I had to acknowledge my rage. Yeah, because we out here banging, huh? And I had to acknowledge my rage and how to be an alchemist and convert that into a positive power. And I was hungry to follow my dreams. I was also hungry to start getting motherfuckers in line with learning how to protect my heart, for me, myself, interacting with people, knowing you can't control people. And then 2, like, y'all need to get in line on understanding what my boundaries are in the way that like, how you gonna respect me if I'm allowing you in my life. And just the colors in this, you don't necessarily, honestly, I don't even want to say that because I don't necessarily believe that sentence. I don't believe you got to go through pain in order to learn things. I just think that's the cycle that we're in. And my journey was very painful. And a lot of the times you see all this blood and stuff. I was eating at my own self. Like, I was literally devouring parts of myself to accommodate life or, deal with it, or thinking I was helping or protecting myself when I was supposed to be manifesting for myself, setting those seeds for the things that I wanted. And when I finally came to and understanding that and looking at myself and looking at my wounds and being like, wow, but how blessed am I to have scars and be so unique and different from everybody else. Like, not to say y'all not cool, because y'all cool in y'all own way, but y'all not unique. Like, y'all not me, which is beautiful because none of us are the same. I feel like we're constantly being told to copy and paste what the next person is doing when we're supposed to embrace our individuality and our uniqueness. And just to be able to look at myself and understand my experiences, and even to see how far from my experiences I am. Like, I just woke up, like, I remembered the process and the journey, but to be here right now and have to take a minute to sit down and be with my thoughts and to really hear my thoughts, like, and really reflect, I'm so proud. This painting is so simple. I did this was probably, I think, my first larger size canvas. And honestly, I did not feel like I had a voice. I felt like I was being silenced, but my ability to, again, push myself into environments, realizing, like, I'm not happy in this situation, so what can I do? I don't know where to go, but I'm about to just start trying new stuff. And I got closer to nature. I got closer to God. Again, I had to deal with, past traumas and pain, and just understanding what my world internally looked like, what my world on the outside looked like, and learning who was there and who you can trust and who you can't. And a lot of us on a daily basis feel like we are exposed when we access our emotions. We're naked to the world. We're underwater, we can't breathe. Like, that's really what I was feeling. Like, I could not breathe. And I'm not the person who opened up to people. Like, I handle stuff by myself. So it's like, to be in such a vulnerable state but still want to manifest love, understanding that I deserve to give that to myself, understanding that I want to give that to others too. Like, I want to be able to be the example for other kids, people, period, like, who needed that. A lot of us need that and are so unaware and so unable to even express that out loud. Like, but I gave that to myself. This painting right here. Communication is key. Sometimes we overextend ourselves, giving a piece of every part of us just to try and see eye to eye and connect. And it takes two. It's so simple. Anytime you're interacting with any other living being, animal, human, whatever, opposite sex, same sex, it takes communication. And when it's a disconnect and it's evident and you intelligent, bro. I'm laughing now, but it was a lot going on during this time. Like, sheesh. Truly, the textures in this was therapeutic as fuck. Don't look at my nails, y'all. Don't do me, okay? When I'm stressed, I take my gel off so I can do them over. I know. I'm working on it. But it's so crazy. Like, you know the saying, it's pulling teeth trying to talk to you. What's that painter who cut his ear off to send to his love? Like, as a peace offering, like dedication, reaching out. Like, it's so many trying to share. Like, it's so crazy. I can't even go into this one because this one is like, it needs its own little segment, truly. But it's important right now to me. It's standing out to me. I don't know why I'm telling y'all this, but hey, whatever. Now, I am pregnant, as y'all know. As a kid, bro, I was left in front of doors often, waiting. I'm not going to say for who, because that's not important at this moment. Well, that is important, but it ain't necessary right now. But I was often left at the door waiting. And I had to, as I was waiting, I had to realize and eventually had to go into the world to make decisions for which doors were worth standing in front of. I couldn't access my own personal history, only to up to a certain degree. And even with that, you know, during those times, I was not, you know, getting the information that was significant. Very young as a kid, like, even though many adults be like, kids don't know, oh, you too young, but I was exposed to so much stuff. I was exposed to so much stuff. I was so intelligent and aware already, but I was going through the journey like most of us are supposed to do but aren't aware of. And I was trying different stuff, like, okay, if you know, I'm not supposed to do this, and this adult or this person is doing this, how can I respond? If I respond nice, what happens? If I respond like I asked, what happens? Like, I was testing myself. Just like we play video games and shit today, like, that's really what we supposed to do. Life is a video game in itself. Like, and eventually I got to this beautiful ass door over here. But, you know, I say time is not of the essence because that was one of the things that used to, like, keep me in the wrong mentality, thinking that I had to hurry up and rush and, you know, do certain things according to certain standards or expectations, and not trusting my heart because, again, I was a kid trying to understand, like, and figure stuff out. Even now, as an adult, I'm still learning new things for where I'm at today. But I never in my life want to leave my baby at a door, bro. I never want to ever tell my baby I'm on my way and not show up and not reach out to my baby for months, bro. I never in my life want my baby to ever experience or have to question or try and figure out, you know, the origin of their heart and their DNA. Like, I never want them to look and feel like they don't belong, bro. Like, my baby gonna belong. Like, every fucking where I go. I don't give a fuck. We riding. The beautiful thing is that I did a lot of the stuff that I needed to do internally prior to being blessed with this, like, process right now. So I'm able to point my baby in different directions, you know, for what I'm aware of, which of course my baby's still gonna do it. My baby needs to do as my baby get older, you know, and they connect with people in the world in different ways. But I'm confident in my ability to, like, guide my baby to the right people if, you know, God forbid something ever was to happen to me. Like, I'm confident in, you know, the basis of what I know about life, which is, like, love conquers all, bro. Yeah, of course, we got to practice protecting ourselves and stuff like that, too. But when you truly moving in the right way, bro, God got you on everything I love. So, now, this one is super weird. This one's super weird to, you know, of course, to y'all. But it was like just a time where I knew I was going through a rebirth. Like, I wasn't accepting and acknowledging that I'm no longer the same person in those experiences. And that I've done so much work, I don't even connect with that state of mind, which means I wasn't connecting with hella people, family and friends. And, you know, well, let's not talk about that either. But the point is, you know, like, I was putting myself together. I realized I was rebuilding myself. I literally dug myself up from the grave that people was trying to keep me in. And I started putting myself together. And of course it wasn't pretty at first, right? Because in order to even understand that you're in an entirely new place, you got to put in the work. You got to actually be working on yourself. So it was just so interesting to understand that I killed myself to rebuild myself. Like, that statement, I don't even like saying that word, that phrase, because it's like, you know, words are powerful, but truly, like, it's so crazy in a metaphorical way. Let me say it like that. Like, bruh, it's still adults who are still needing to hug their childhood self. Like, there's so many of us who can identify with what has pained us, who has pained us, on what day, at what time, and why we deserved more, but have not moved forward to the part of giving that to ourselves. Like, I just knew I'm about to give myself the world. I don't know what the fuck is out there, but I'm about to give myself the world. We're about to go through every fucking thing I can ever think of or my heart has ever desired. And when we come across it and we embrace it, if we want this, we're going to keep this. If we don't, we're going to give it back to the universe, give it back to God, give it back to earth, so that way somebody else can utilize it. Like, bruh. I feel like there's so many people who are hurting right now. And I have so many different energies. I know this is probably gonna sound weird to a lot of y'all, but I have so many different energies that I'm connecting to, but I can't because I gotta be in a right space for my baby. And if y'all know me, y'all know I'm such a caring person. Like, I love 110% with my heart. Like, I want to be able to help all y'all who I know are hurting right now in whatever way that y'all hurting. And I want to be able to like be of support, but like I can't do that to every individual, you know? So I guess that's why I feel compelled to kind of go through some of these paintings and kind of express my journey a little bit, you know, give y'all a little teaser. Honestly, all it takes is a choice. In this moment right now, I could get my ass up and do 25 jumping jacks because I know I didn't work out today. But I know I'm about to make a choice to go lay my black ass down because now I'm tired, finally. I'm finally back tired. But tomorrow I'm going to make that fucking choice to do something different. You know what I mean? And guess what? Today that I'm not going to do it, it's good. I'm still peeved, you feel me? But it's okay. Like, everybody just take time and, like, love on yourself, encourage yourself. And, you know, really be honest with yourself. Like, are the steps that I'm taking really helping me? If it's not what I like, if my environment is not what I like, what can I do to change it? It don't gotta be drastic changes. What little thing can I do to just switch my energy? And honestly, like, somebody was asking me, like, do you trust me? Do you trust me? And I was like, I trust you to be human. And that's for everybody across the board, family and friends. And I know sometimes that's offensive to people who love you or who want to love you in the best way that they know how, you know? But I think it's realistic because if I set the expectation to trust in you, when you have your own journey, you have different emotions, you live a different life than I live. Even if you live in the same house with somebody, y'all are not the same people, bro. Then I start to place expectations of you to show up in a certain way that I see fit. And when you don't do those things, then who's disrupted? The person who set them expectations. So I mention that to say, in this moment, it's so many people I know who are exposing themselves to pain. They're not, you know, they're in a mental state where, you know, they're processing it however way they're processing it in order to do it, right? Because that's what we do. We create reasons and things to why we should do something, or, you know, sometimes you just don't give a fuck too. You just like, I don't give a fuck. This is just what I want to do. I don't want to feel, whatever the case may be. But it hurts people for me. Let me speak on me. It hurts me to see people I love hurting. Like, I feel that, like 110%. It will shut my body down if I allow it. And so I have to be so in control of my emotions, going back to that Oshun painting. Like, I literally will wake up in the middle of the night. I will stop whatever I'm doing in the middle of my day because I feel a wave of pain or a wave of joy too. Sometimes I feel it, but I feel it with the people I'm connected to because I allow myself to love on them and like be connected with them. And it just sucks because when you really care for people, you want to help them, you think of like, what can I do? What can I do? But sometimes the best thing you can do is allow people, again, a space to be themselves. Trust them to be human and allow them their space to go on their journey and understand that you cannot control the outcome of that. And as hurtful as that can be sometimes, it's just what's healthier, truly. So I think this was all like refreshing for me to be able to reflect and, you know, also to a reminder to me, like, you can't help nobody who don't want to be helped. You can't save nobody who don't see that they are worth more than what their environment is or what they're exposing themselves to, what they grew up being taught. You feel me? Like, you can't show somebody the world who is only looking at the ground. So just know, if y'all out there and y'all trying to do something different, I'm here. If you need love, I'm here. But you gotta want that for yourself. I'm gonna teach you how to do it for yourself. I ain't gonna do it for you. So yeah, I'm about to take my black ass to bed, but I just know that I'm about to show up so motherfucking, y'all, I'm powerful now, but the way I'm about to show up for my baby, the way I'm about to be a safety net for my baby, the greatest supporter of the world, the greatest fucking admirer, like teacher, listener, like whatever the fuck my baby wants to do, bro, I'm gonna fuel my baby with every fucking thing. No, not with everything in me. But all the good tools that I learned. So they'll have those tools, and then they create tools along the way. But yeah, I just can't even believe this. While I got this little baby here who just want all the love. Don't disrespect me. You eat your ass.